Let's turn our fall warm color painting into a fall leaf collage. First, we're going to flip our painting over so we are looking at the back, and we want our picture to be going vertically or up and down. So it should look tall in front of you instead of looking long. We want it to look tall. Then I'm going to take a shape that I can use to trace a circle, put it near the top, and hold it down. Press against that shape with my finger, or not finger, with my pencil, to trace along the edge. Once you've traced your shape, you'll see it on your paper with a pencil line. Down at the bottom, I want to draw a wavy line to represent a hill. I don't want it to be super pointy, because that's going to be hard to cut out with my scissors. So I want it to be almost flat, but just a gentle wave, maybe 2 or 3 bumps, something like that. Then I'll use my scissors to cut along each of these lines. When I'm cutting, I want to make sure my thumb goes through the small hole, and either 2 fingers or the rest of my hand goes through the big hole. My non-scissor hand is turning the paper. That'll make it easier for me to cut out my circle, because a circle involves a lot of turning. So I'm doing that with my other hand. To cut safely, I'm cutting pretty slowly. And after I'm done cutting it, I'll push the scraps toward the middle of the table. I'm turning it continuously as I go. I'm trying to cut slowly and safely, trying to stay as close to the line as I can to do my best job. When you're done, your circle might look something like this. Then I just need to cut out my grass that's covered in leaves. So I'll cut smoothly along this line. Again, when I'm done with my scraps, this extra part, which is over here, what I'll do is I'll push that to the middle of the table to make cleanup a little bit easier. This part goes to the middle of the table. When you have your circle and your grass cut out, you'll be ready for the next step. One of the next steps, I'll use glue to attach some of my pieces to the background. The glue comes in a little cup like this. This is liquid glue that we will apply with a paintbrush, which is why I have a paintbrush. After you've used the glue, you can either leave the paintbrush balanced in the glue container, or you can wipe it off and set it on top of one of these paintbrush images if you're worried about it tipping. So I've got the top of my tree, I've got the grass, and the other things I will get are a piece of paper for the background and another rectangle that's brown that'll become the tree trunk and the tree branches. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to see which way the rectangle goes. I want my tree trunk to be tall, so I'm going to turn it up and down vertically. And I even want it to be a little thinner than this, because right now, if I compare the pieces of my collage, the grass will go down at the bottom, and the tree trunk looks a little bit too wide. So I'm going to use my scissors and cut it in half. So I'm going to hold it carefully, and from the bottom to the top, I'm going to cut all the way across. So one half we'll keep as our tree trunk, and the other half will become the tree branches. Before I cut and glue the branches, I'm going to glue these 3 parts of my picture. So first, we're going to glue the tree trunk. It has color on both sides, so as long as I make it go up and down, we'll be set up for success. So I've got my paper here going vertically, because we want to fit everything in nicely. I'm going to take my glue, dip a little bit on, and paint the edges. It's nice that we're using construction paper so you can more easily see the glue where it's going. You just need a little bit of glue, not too much. That's another reason why I like using glue in this format. It helps us get just the right amount for it to stick without becoming too much of a mess. And I'm going to put this very close to the bottom. Usually it would touch the bottom because trees don't float, but I know if I put it a little bit further up, it'll still be covered by my grass. And then I have to smooth it down with a gentle hand to get it to stick. Then I can line up where my grass is going to go. I want my grass to touch the bottom. Should my grass be floating? No, that would be silly. My leaf-covered grass should touch the bottom. So I'll flip this over, put glue all the way around the back. I know you can't see this part as much, but you'll see it when you're painting your own glue on, because the glue looks shiny. When I've done all the edges, including the top and the sides and the bottom, I'll be ready to flip it over and smooth it down with a gentle hand. You might be wondering, Ms. Byerly, if there's glue on the back, why do we have to smooth it down also? That's because the glue has to have good contact. It has to touch both papers to work. So if the glue, we put it on, but we don't make it touch, the papers touch together, it won't do its job. So we have to help it do its job by gently pushing down where we put that glue. So I'm taking my finger and I'm pressing it down where I put that glue, and that'll help it stick really well. Last thing we need to glue on is our tree leaves, or last big thing. Again, I'll flip it over, put my glue all the way around the back, and then stick it down. I really want to make sure I get all of the spots. If I just put glue on one edge, will that create a good, do a good job gluing? No, I have to put glue all the way around the edge. If I just set it down, am I done? No, I have to gently press so it sticks. There we go, we've got a beautiful collage. A bonus step, if you have time, will be adding branches. I'm going to cut some branches by making little lines with my scissors, and I can arrange the branches on top of this circle and glue them down. So I could decide how I want these branches to look. Stick a little bit of glue right along the back, press it down, keep gluing till I have as many branches as I want. Your branches don't have to look like mine, but this is how I thought I would make my branches. If there's even more time, you might be able to make a bonus leaf by cutting out an eyeball shape with your scissors. I think this looks like a falling leaf, so I might put it falling from my tree, because I think that will look really cool. It's okay if you don't have time for the leaves or the branches, though. We'll just do our best with the time that we have. I'm so excited to see your beautiful fall leaf artworks. Whenever you're done, listen to the adults for directions on cleanup.